We're live. All right. You ready? I'll sing the
Um,
song.
Go on then.
No, I won't. Three, two, one. I'll just start. All right. No, my hook and my welcome back to another episode of the Kiwi NRL podcast. Tonight, I'll be your host as per normal. My name's Lenny Brookie, and through the magic of the interweb, for this round, because Jason's out, don't know what he's up to. He just said he couldn't do it, but
HIA.
we've upgraded. We've upgraded a contract with someone else. Much better, and we've got Kane on the line. How are you, bro?
I'm good. Still recovering from the weekend, but good.
Still recovering. Oh
Yeah.
my lord. Still recovering. The last couple of days have been hectic.
Yep.
It was a big one. Yes. All right. We better thank the sponsors for well, not really keeping lights on and beers cold because we're doing it from our house. But shout out to Fitzone. If you're in the great towns of Matamata, Te Aroha, Paeroa, Waihi, and you need to sort your rig out, get on down to Fitzone. They can sort you that shit out for you. And also shout out to Mortgage IQ. That's right, Dre at Mortgage IQ. One of the great sponsors of the Kiwi NRL podcast. If you've got anything to do with a mortgage, if you're wanting to buy a house, just sort your lending out, refix it, refloat that ass. You get hold of Dre at Mortgage IQ and he'll sort you out. You'll find him on Instagram and TikTok, I believe. Hell, just Google it. I'm sure it'll come up. Mortgage IQ. All right. You got a drink or no? Or you well
Yeah,
off
I
it?
do. No, I
Oh,
do
what
got
are
a
you
drink.
drinking?
Today I got the Good George Bandito.
Oh, Mexican
Believe it's in.
styles.
Yeah, Mexican lager. It tastes like a bit of a Corona.
Yeah, it does a bit, eh? Yeah, I've had a few of
Yeah,
those.
yeah,
They're not
good.
bad. They're not bad. And I'm going, this is one of our favourites for the potty.
On the party pills.
Party Pills Ultra Low Carb Pilsner.
Different than the one you're on Friday.
Mate, come on. None of that. None of that at all. But yeah, this is the Party Pills by Baylands Brewery. Don't forget, shout out to the lads for hooking us up for the last few episodes. We've got one more beer to try out of theirs, actually, which is like I think it's about 8%.
Whew.
Yeah, so after the weekend, I decided to skip that one. I'll wait till next week. I wasn't quite ready to pick that up. But yeah, Party Pills, go get you some. They're good. They're good. It's weird not having the songs. I'll
Yeah.
sort that out. I'll sort that out next time. I'm so used to it. All right. That leads us into, let me bring it up, questions. So this segment is we put it out to the punters, out to the listeners. Any questions from the weekend that you want the complete factual and true answer to, they send it through. And then what do, Kane? We try to
Answer that question.
answer that question. Yes. There you go. All right. Let me just bring up the Instagram. The Instagrammy. All right. Oh, that's the other one.
All for the grain.
This comes in from Ray Nicolale, a regular
That guy.
listener of the podcast.
News
And
or
one
Mala
of,
owner, that guy.
yes, owns a share in Zormella too after the giveaway last
Does.
week. So shout out to
Does.
Ray. He's saying, who plays in the Spoon Bowl this season? I think you're wearing the jersey of one of them.
Yeah, I think you are too.
Hey, it could be. It'd be pretty hard to beat the Eels though. I think the Eels might be
Yeah, I
down
think
there.
so. Yeah.
Who else do you think? Cowboys didn't look that good.
No. Uh,
Okay, we're
yeah,
going to be
that's probably
biased
the
and not
four
put
right
our
now.
teams down there.
Yeah, that's
We won't say our teams. So what we've come up with is the Cowboys and the Eels.
yeah. No, I
Both
agree.
played. Did they play bad or were the other team just too good?
The Eels
Combination.
definitely played bad. Yeah.
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 Combination of both. Well, there you go, Ray. I hope that's the answer to the question that you wanted.
I think he's an Eels fan too, so probably isn't.
Is he an Eels fan? Oh, there
Yeah,
you
I
go.
think he
Even
is.
better. All right, Ray. Eels and Cowboys are in the Spoon Bowl. This is from Blake Prince. What is the future for TKP? That Kiwi punter.
Ooh,
Maybe is that the next potty question?
yeah, I don't
Am I a
know.
little mixed up?
Future is the next potty.
The next potty, you'll figure
Yeah.
it out. You'll figure
Yeah.
it. You'll hear it.
Yeah.
So that's Blake Prince. Shout out to the breather. He's got another one.
Ooh.
Okay, these are both these might suit the other podcast. They're both just about punting, but it was TKP best ever ran weekend profit. You could probably say that
Yeah,
ran. What was that? Is he talking about
NRL
punters
wise,
clubs? Obviously.
yeah, I think about everything.
Oh
We had
yeah,
a good Sunday, yeah, but we'll cover that in the next.
yeah.
Stay tuned.
Thoughts on the Dill Brown signing? There we go. We got a rugby league question. All right. What do you reckon, man? What do you think the Knights are up? Do you think the Knights have made a wise choice signing on Dill Brown? And what's your thoughts?
Good player. I don't think he's gonna change the Knights around. Like I think they need something a bit more. I don't know, someone that kind of like an orchestra. He's more of a, in my mind, a run first type of half. He'll complement Ponga well, but I don't know if he'll steer the whole team, and that's what they need. 10
Yeah,
mil
see,
too. That's a lot of money.
that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
And those 10-year contracts are usually a bit.
yeah.
They don't usually work out that well for player and club.
Nah,
Um,
look at Tamalolo right now.
yeah, was his back ended too? I think it got higher as it went on,
Yeah,
which is crazy.
yeah.
The other thing with the Knights too, they've already got how many 5/8s?
Exactly right.
4 or something.
Their best one's not even making the team. I feel so.
Yeah, who's that?
Hastings.
Hey, so you got Hastings. I guess no, he's actually a half A. Really,
Yeah, Hastings, Gamble, Cogger,
Cogger, and
Crossland,
now
Fisher
Sharp,
Sharp. Yeah, there's
and
a
they've
few.
spent So I wonder what the future is for those guys.
Yeah,
But an out and out halfback is probably what they're screaming for. To be fair,
yep,
I
yep,
mean a
yep,
lot of teams are. It's hard to get
yep.
because who else would you kind of? Who else was coming up available?
Mm, yeah, I don't
It's like
really know.
no sevens,
Moses, if they got Moses over him, that's probably the better. Well, of
better
course,
option.
everyone would want Moses, but yeah,
Yeah, for what they're after, I think
yeah,
is definitely for sure. But stoked for Dylan in regards to like getting that sort of deal and setting himself up. Who knows? He's still
yeah,
quite young.
exactly.
He could turn himself into one.
Yeah,
But it'll be a bit of $1 million a year project. But I'm
be a lot
sure
of
if
pressure with that. I just hope that pressure of the contract doesn't get to him
yeah,
because fans are going to be on him if he isn't performing at 10 mil.
good point. They'll just keep bringing up the cost.
Yeah, and
And
you
if he
know
isn't,
Newcastle fans are pretty.
and it's hard to like they'll keep bringing it up. If he's not playing perfectly, they'll just keep. It'll
Yep,
just the noise will just always be there.
yep.
Good point. Sug 17. What's the best game to bet on this week? Similar to Storm Eels game, lol.
Do you want the honest truth?
Yes,
I think there is two. Well, for me, I've looked at with my betting the two teams that underperformed big time last week, which was the Roosters and the Warriors. They've got two
yeah,
teams that were arguably the best teams of the week, Panthers
yes,
and
correct.
Manly. So I'd be putting all my money, towards those Panthers and Manly's players because defensive flaws. I don't think a week can heal that. So
No, it's going to take a while to
yeah,
sort that out. Yeah, no, correct. Unfortunately,
yeah. I think out of the
yes.
two, Roosters is the one.
Oh, okay. At least you're not being biased.
Nah.
Is that just? You did when you posted up. You did say it hurts to say it, but
Yeah, no.
all
We're
your
getting
bets
we're
were
getting the
over the
spoon this year.
Broncos. All right. This is from the Equinox 97. 3 best tips when betting on the NRL.
Hmm.
What does he mean? Like how to go about it?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Well, what you just said, probably, eh?
Yeah, for me, I look at defensive patterns. It's always something I look at where the team's leaking tries versus the team they're playing. Where do they score most of their tries?
Correct. Just trying to match that up, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You're also
So if
looking at
someone's. Well, you go.
halves that love a short ball. They've got a good running, like the Sharks have got Nikura. More
Good
often
back
than not,
row.
he's
Yeah.
scoring the try. Yeah, someone that can hit a line and you got a short playing half. That's always worth a punt.
That's a must.
Yeah,
Correct. But yeah, like you said, if you can find that team where there's one side always leaking the points
yeah,
and they're coming up a team with that's and the side opposing that is their best, then usually it's on for all money.
yeah. And usually the other thing is always try beat the bookies because they adjust obviously. Like there'll
Yeah.
be like Manly Open this week. I think 13 plus was 250 to beat the Wires. and that'll go in. I think as Wise have named the same team.
Yeah.
I think money will bring the odds down. So trying to hit those early odds as well is always good.
Unfortunately, it's just you always quite often you are getting good money against the Warriors.
Yeah, yeah,
Obviously, with it being a New Zealand betting
exactly.
agency,
Yeah.
but after the way Manly played last week,
Hmm.
there might be some points coming unless Tommy bloody hits a hammy or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez, but he was outrageous. But anyway, we'll get to that. All right, thanks for those, team. Thanks for the questions. Thanks for sending those through. Next segment, it usually has music, and it's really freaking me out. Oh, no, here we go. Oh, yes, review of the round. All right, we had Roosters versus the Broncos. Do you want to go into anything that the Roosters done, bro, or do you just want to focus on the Broncos?
There's probably nothing they did do, so we can.
Talking about Kiwis as we like to do, who was your Kiwi standout on the Broncos team in the weekend for
Broncos,
you?
Jordan Ricky, I think definitely. He's that type of player. I always talk about him because I like those players, do the things that don't get recognised.
Yeah,
Things outside the stats, like pressuring that fullback off the kickoff, like those things are the little things actually make a
kick
big
chase,
difference. Yeah, he's that guy.
pushing up from the inside.
Yeah,
I'll bring up his stat. I thought the same too, and he also had some pretty good attacking numbers, which people were a bit, what's the word? Criticised him a bit last year.
yeah,
Just because he's kind of when he first came in, that was, he would be hitting a hole. He'd be, quite prolific on attack, but he's just obviously got told to hone in on his defense for good reason, and he's really tidied that up and made it
definitely.
like the strongest part of his game. So
Yep.
good to see him attacking as well. I can bring up their stats. We got the most tackles for the Broncos. For the Roosters, Connor Watson nearly made 50. Holy shit. But Jordan Ricky made 34. Another Kiwi on there, Jesse Arthurs with the most line breaks, 3. But we will look at Pretty Ricky's numbers. Oops, he's not on the Roosters.
Marin is a Kiwi too, is he?
Yes, he is. He's still eligible. Yep, hasn't said no yet.
Yep.
So yeah, like Ricky ran for 145 meters, 45 post contact, which he wasn't getting those sort of numbers last year.
Yeah.
Which is really good. But yeah, 34 tackles, good shift, and like you said, he does a lot of the things that you don't often get recognised for.
Broncos are going to be a hard beat this year. You watch them; those
Bro.
two halves that they have right now. They control
That's
the
crazy.
game so well. Yeah.
I actually looked back and then thought, how did that even happen in the end?
Yeah, exactly.
I ended up with Reynolds and
Ben Hunt.
Ben Hunt, like also both quite on in age, but you know how hard it is to find a halfback
Yeah.
of that caliber and that experience at the moment. Broncos end up with both of them. It's also like a case of it makes us. It's also like means there's less good halves in other teams, so it's a win-win. But yeah, they were outstanding. Broncos are scary, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I thought Arthur's was really good again after a real good performance in the Māori game.
Yep.
And Dean Mariner as well. Without scoring, he was supporting a few times and didn't get the ball.
Yeah. He's quick. He's quick.
He's got the gas. What do you feel about him playing centre? Or are you more a fan of him playing?
He has that speed, and speed, no matter where it is, it can trouble someone.
True.
I think give him a few more games in that centre. It's going to be hard when Staggs is back. What's the go? But
yes, is it
impressive.
that he might get the? But he's been pretty good. He's been solid.
Staggs is playing where Mariner is right now, so that's kind of how I see it. Is Mariner just the drop?
Does he just get dropped? Obviously, Madge has come in and made some calls. I got this one fly. There's this one fly. I just need to get it. Anyway, I think Madge has made some calls around players based off effort, not based off skill as well, which Madge always likes to do, which I think the Broncos really needed someone like that.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I think it's working, and I really like their rotation with Payne Haas playing shorter minutes in his first stint.
I think Willie Mason, or someone brought it up saying how
the
last 4 years he's wanted a coach to play Payne Haas like Madge has played him. He expects to play 60 minutes straight and he tires out towards the end. Whereas Madge is like, give it all for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
come off, and then we'll see how if we need you back on.
Payne
But we
Haas,
need,
like giving it 110% for 30 minutes, I personally think is better than having him reserve
yeah,
himself back because he knows he needs to play 60 for sure.
exactly. Yeah,
So, yeah, that's a win. I think their forward pack's like, would it be one of the best? That'd have to be the best.
yeah. They got
Balanced
a lot of
maybe.
size to a
They've got skill and size,
yeah.
which is
Willison
something.
and
Well,
Takuto off the bench. That's
then you got
yeah,
Haas as well. Like I think one thing the Warriors do kind of lack since AFB has gone is not size or anything, but that footwork.
yeah,
Someone in the forward pack that can
yeah,
get
definitely.
between players and get on their front foot that fashion. We've got people who will bash it up 100 times and not complain and love to do it,
Yeah, yeah,
which is great. But I think that's the one thing I didn't think about when AFB left was I used to be a bit
yeah,
harsh on him because he's a bit lazy in other areas. But that's one thing he could do here. He had someone who could break a tackle that
yeah,
wasn't just bumping off. He could step someone.
yeah,
He'll get in between players with footwork. So yeah,
yeah,
balance
for sure.
good. Balance for that Broncos team is crazy. We'll keep moving because you could probably wax lyrical about them for a couple of hours. No, I'm on the wrong round. Where are we? Broncos. Oh, Tigers Knights. Close game. What are your thoughts on this one, bro?
Yeah, not really a high scoring round one game that you'd expect,
Yeah,
but
scrappy.
few Kiwi standouts. I thought old Leo Thompson. He had a big shift.
Yeah, a
Just
lot of
trying to pull up
work.
his stats. Yeah, where is it? 39 tackles. That's a big shift for a prop. His run meters at 141 run meters. That's a he's kind of
That's
stepped
decent.
up
Yeah. Oh, you
and
needed to. Yeah.
yep, taken over
Um,
from Daniel Saifidi. He's
one less Saifidi.
yep,
I also felt like Phoenix Crosland. Um, decent game. Did he
yeah,
get them? How many tackles? 50 tackles there or something close to.
yeah, yeah.
I thought he was really good.
Maju winning try.
Oh, Marju.
That was a
Is that the one when the bro should have passed it?
yeah,
But then he
and
like kind
then
of flicked it,
threw it late. He's
threw it
lucky.
late, bounced around on the ground. He spun around and just ran straight, and then he got the try. That was so
yeah,
weird.
yeah,
Unlucky for the Tigers. They probably should have won that game,
yeah.
but they just couldn't. They just lacked a few more points.
I think if Coruscant was there, it could have been a different story. So
Yeah, everyone's been saying like that's
hmm.
because it starts from your hooker, right?
Yeah,
And so you're probably getting a few more people holding in the middle, and then getting a bit more space out wide if Uppy's on because he's a threat. I'm not saying the young fella isn't, but he's just not at the caliber of Uppy, obviously. And then Kiwi that was out was Dream Buller was out also, so
yeah.
I think he
Back
would have
this
made a
week though.
difference. Is he? Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
I think he'll make a big difference. He's quite a threat. Like just don't know
yeah,
what
for
he's going to
sure.
do. He's one of those sort of players.
Yep.
With not many other Kiwis in the team, was there? Probably trying to look who
Nah,
else.
not really. Yeah, Royce Hunt. I think he was under expectations for a lot of
Yeah, I was going to
fans.
say that probably wasn't his best stint I've ever
Nah.
seen from him, but might have been just one of those games. How many
Yeah.
minutes did he get? Half an hour. I thought, obviously, he's not a Kiwi, but Terrell May was
Oh,
very impressive.
yeah. We won't talk about him.
And could have had him, bro.
Now
Who
there's
knows what
rumours
happened
his
there?
brother is joining.
Oh, shit.
He's just got off his case, so there's
Oh, I see that. Yeah, it's just been what? The charge has been dropped, correct?
yes, and now he's eligible for a
To
contract
keep
again.
playing. And then obviously, not Kiwi eligible anymore, but a Kiwi. Probably would play Kiwis if the Orange rules weren't so good. But Ponga, obviously.
Yeah,
Just effort wise, he was brilliant. And when they really needed something to happen, scrappy game from him, but when they needed something to happen, he could pull it out, which is what you want from
yeah, for
someone
sure.
who's on $1 million a year. All right, we'll keep chugging along. Where do you think the Tigers realistically can get themselves off the bottom? Do you reckon you've
Yeah, I
seen
think.
enough?
Yeah, I think so. They're not going to be in the eight, but I think they're around that, the 10th, 11th type spot.
Yeah. I could see if everything kind of pans out for them.
Yeah,
They could sneak into the 8, but I don't
yeah,
have them locked in there. Next game, Rabbitohs beat the Dolphins in another close battle, the
yeah.
Wayne Bennett Cup. Not a heap of Kiwis in the Rabbitohs team. You need to double check the Dolphins team, but get their team list up. But Isako, I did say last week he'll probably fuck around and get a double,
He did.
and he got a double. Let me just bring up this.
Marshall King.
Marshall King, yes, yes. Did he play the whole game? No, 69 minutes. Nice. Um, how do you think Jerry Marshall King played? Do you think he has started
Yeah,
off where he kind of left off?
yeah. I guess there is kind of a bit of pressure on him now that
Yeah.
Donohue's coming through.
Yes, shout out to Kurt. He's been on the potty
Yeah.
before. Lemu Elu is also an interesting one, being on the bench. Because who have they starting? Oh,
Finef
Felice.
Wiaki.
Vinny
They're kind of a
Fuaki.
clone.
Yeah, yeah. He's from memory. I think like he didn't may have made a few errors.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
so.
he, yeah,
I
he
think
runs very
he's
hard though.
yeah, I think he's got an injury or something now. So
Okay, so Lemuelu's probably coming back in.
yeah,
And then obviously the bro. Name escapes me for some reason. Nikorima
yes,
stayed home.
yeah,
Yeah, that was a bit of a weird one. Not a weird one,
yeah,
but obviously a lot of shit going down. So to leave home, leave your kids and your wife, and that's quite would have been quite hard. So fair, yeah, I think that's fair
yeah,
enough.
yeah. I think so.
Looking at the
Kind
game,
of.
do we think that Wayne Bennett pretty much just won in the game? 2
Yeah,
points in it. Maybe it was the
yeah.
coaching at halftime. What do
I
you think about? Oh, you go.
kind of expected a bit more from the game. Like all this excitement on the field, Hamo and
That's right. Yeah, you've got
players
some
like that.
really outstanding, like some quick players. So
Yeah,
it ended up being a bit of a scrappy game, didn't it?
yeah.
Think either of these teams, where do you think they end up? Rabbitohs, do you think they're in the 8?
Depends when the trial's back. I think if the trial's back round 8 or so, then they have their team to push the 8.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Of course,
I think it
Charles
all
won't
hinges
even in
on
there.
him. Cam Murray's out too. I think he's out a bit longer, which
Yeah, was it the year?
yeah might be.
Yeah, so it's a hard one.
Yeah, and
All
then Finns.
right.
I think Finns have the coach. That's interesting.
Yeah, so
Bringing in order.
he's obviously been great at international level.
Yeah,
Whether or not it doesn't always transfer to the day in and day out of the NRL. So
yep.
who knows?
Teams to
Usually,
watch. Yeah,
yeah, they're definitely teams to keep an eye on. Like you wouldn't write either of them off.
nah.
Next game, I would say it'd be hard to find any Kiwis in this game. There might be the odd one that is eligible, but it's the Dragons go down to the Bulldogs 28-20 with a bit of a comeback near the end there.
Yeah.
The crowd looked amazing. What do you think about this game, mate?
I don't know if you've seen the video of Tui Pelotu when he scores.
Cash money.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I
They're
have.
down
Yeah.
by like 28-10 or something, and he's out here celebrating.
He's like, he's making out like he's, yeah, that's probably, you got to reserve that to if you're pumping someone.
Yeah.
Or it's a winning try and this is the last minute and you're going to win, you'd think. Actually, talking about it, he's still eligible for the Kiwis. Tatili Tupanua. What a
Yeah, 2
game.
tries off the bench.
2 tries and just running a great line. It's nice and straight under the post and just left of the post and bang, bang,
Yeah.
goes over. Talking about Christian Tui Pelotu, he is eligible for New Zealand. Most run meters for the Dragons, 174. 3 line breaks, the most line breaks for them, and then 74 fantasy points for the breather. Maybe that's what he meant, like show me the cash, those fantasy points.
Or his mates had a punt on American.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Who else was in there? Yeah, not many other Kiwis in there. You got Fatala Mariner off the bench, solid. Yeah. Any other thoughts on that game? How do you think these two? What do you think of these two teams? Where do you think they're finishing?
Yeah, they're interesting teams as well. Dragons have had all these big signings, but kind of still, I don't know if they're there yet.
Lack a little something.
Yeah, like I think a little bit of forward depth.
Yeah, if you're looking at the team list and
Yeah,
going through it, you're probably right. Albeit some good players. We got DeBellin, Sewer, Leilua,
yeah. Couchman brothers are good, but
Couchmans, but they're not. Yeah, I know what you're saying. They're not a Payne
yeah,
Haas or like someone like that,
yeah, yeah,
or Leo Thompson, who's gonna that real kind of premium
yeah,
middle forward.
yeah.
All right, alrighty, righty. We'll keep moving. This was I don't know if it's because I've been watching their YouTube preseason, but in that the Seagulls looked really good, and so I was pretty high on them. But they put on an absolute clinic down at the Four Pines. Sorry. Um, what do you think of this? I'm just trying to remember which Kiwis are in it. So you've got Jazz Tavanga, obviously he is eligible. Paseka's eligible.
Is he eligible?
Takiaho was eligible. Yeah, I believe so.
Oh,
And then who's the other one? T Sips, did he play? Oh yeah, he came off the bench. And Tafua Sipley is also eligible.
yeah,
Um, I mean, the team has speed to burn. That's obvious when you've got Lehigh Hopewadi, Tolu Kola, Saab,
Saab,
Travojevic.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, that's crazy. And then I thought Takia Howe was, even though he only played 22 minutes, I thought he was impressive. He makes a difference for them.
he's a good ball player. Yeah,
Yeah. Once again, like we were talking about earlier, he's got he's got footwork as well. So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
he's got a few different threats to his game, and he's got so much experience now that I think last year, yeah, maybe even the year before, they kind of lacked that forward who had that.
Yeah.
I think in some games they got outbashed and they went into their shell a bit. And if you've got someone like him who's been around the block quite a few times, won premierships, played internationals, he's been in that pressure cooker quite a few times. So I think he adds quite a bit to their forward pack.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm high on the Eagles, man. Like obviously they're at
No, I
home,
agree. Yeah,
but man, they look bloody good.
I think
Is it
top four.
top? Yeah, like for me, that you've got Penrith, the Storm, obviously. These
Broncos.
guys are maybe not quite
Yeah,
where they are, but they're very close to them. They're if they're not in the top 3 to 4 or the top tier, they're like just under it, just going off that. And I thought actually Jazzy was all good at hooker. I had my
yeah,
queries about that. I'm thinking, shit, he's never had the greatest service. But obviously he's been working on it, and they've seen enough of him to want to put him in that position. So
yeah. Because they're going over an actual hooker. Like James Jacobson's a good hooker, so for him to get a
maybe
start over him, it's
I wonder if it's also defense, maybe
yeah, I think so.
bit of mongrel in the middle. Like this, Jazz does have that, So no, happy for Jazz to keep playing. He's obviously a legend of a bloke, and it's good to see him still getting a gig after the Warriors kind of not falling out, but not wanting to keep him on.
Yeah,
And Cowboys, you fucked. All right, next one. Tackling looked optional. I don't know what's wrong there, but
they're there. Townsend's a huge loss for them.
yeah, I think at times they tried very hard, but it's just
I think
it didn't look
Manly's
like it.
just a superior team. When Manly's on, they're pretty hard to stop for anyone.
That's right. They've been like that the last few years.
Yeah,
If they can put on a game like that, if they're in the right mood, usually if they're at Four Pines,
yeah. If they get their
if Tommy's playing,
yeah, get that running game going, and it's pretty hard to stop.
I think the only way to stop them, which has happened in the past, is if the other forward pack can just limit or like bash them up a bit.
Yeah,
That's where their kind of weakness, not their weakness, but it'd be one way to slow down their backs
yeah,
and hopefully get them on the back foot if you're opposing them.
yeah,
But your Cowboys, I mean, they've done this for the last few years though. Play shit one week and they'll beat the team next week. You just
yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
If we're talking hidings that continued on till Sunday, with the Storm absolutely humping the Eels. A few Kiwi boys running around in that. What's your thoughts on this game, bro?
Yeah, Storm just looked superior from the start, right?
Yeah.
Hughes looked like he hasn't lost anything.
No.
Just orchestrated the game so well. Then him with Munster. Munster looks a lot fitter now.
Munster stepped up too.
Yeah.
I feel they're good at if someone's got the hot hand, the other players don't spine players aren't. They don't mind. They can step back and like provide more of a platform for that person if they're on. Which
Yeah,
I mean, look at their spine. Eh? It's crazy.
probably the best spine in the game, right? Like,
It's unfair.
yeah,
There's a few
or
of those
at
tries
least,
were bloody soft though. To be fair,
yeah. Oh heck yeah. Meany and
you,
Warbrick's intercepts, full field intercepts.
yeah.
A lot of
Actually,
passes.
that intercept that Warbrick got at the end, obviously sick. It reminded me of the Warriors one where they're just doing the same play,
Yeah,
and regardless of what's happening, they're throwing that ball because that's
yeah,
what they've rehearsed every week. That's what it
yeah,
looked like to me anyway.
yeah,
It just
yeah,
reminded me of that instantly.
yeah.
Um, but Warbrick, just
Oh,
looked
fuck,
like he knew that was coming. I guess they would have studied. Every team studies what they're doing, so
I was
looked like he
riding him
just
home for
on that.
sure.
Yeah, I didn't. I must not have followed the pounce exactly. Who did I miss? I don't know. I didn't make that much money off that game, but there was money to be made,
Yeah,
and the bro tipped out quite a few there.
yeah. That guy that won the 12K. Jeez, I don't know how he would have been feeling.
Oh yeah,
Riding that
crazy.
intercept, and you see Russell coming in the screen. I was like,
Surely he gets. Yeah, that would have been the heart
yeah,
palpitations. Yeah, like you said though, Jerome Hughes, he was very good. I'm just trying to think Kiwi wise, who else is in there? Dill Brown, bit of a try assist,
yeah.
but I think they were just out of the game. He just wasn't allowed to be part of the game, in my
Nah,
opinion.
nah.
Who else we got? There's not
Alec
actually.
McDonald, he's a Kiwi, yeah.
Oh yes, he is. Yes, I forgot about that. Yep, Alec McDonald's a Kiwi. Harworth was eligible, but he turned down the New Zealand jersey last year, so
That's,
he's dead
yeah,
to us.
big
Played well
loss.
though.
Yeah,
Played well. But
played
yeah, I
very
thought
well.
Warbrick was really good. I think coming out of yardage, he was good too. Um, yeah, so but Jerome Hughes obviously wasn't the. I wouldn't say he was the star of the game. He
No,
can be though, but I think
yep,
obviously with months of the way he was playing and seeing things, it was just he'll chime in. He had a great game. He'll chime in
yeah,
when he needs to, and when he did, it was quality. So
yeah.
they are scary.
Very scary.
You don't want to
They,
be playing them.
I think they're definitely the team to beat this year. If they're not favourites, they should be favourites pretty soon.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it'd be good to see Penrith play like a not a lesser team, but you know what I mean. Not the
Yeah,
Sharks, and see how they go.
yeah,
But it feels like the Storm have a lot more weapons in their team.
yeah, for sure. I'm not as scared of Penrith as I am of Storm.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it.
Yeah,
It's a good way to put it. All right, and Eels tackling was optional, so there's not much really to cover off for them. I know it's early days, but you'd probably want him to be just seeing a bit more effort more than anything.
yeah. They'd make a good dodgeball team.
The pinball machine, yeah, yeah. That's yeah. The coaches would have been playing the hero because no doubt they were in the off season. They obviously would have had a plan and would have trained hard. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's just about making sure that they put that onto the field. All right. So what we'll get into now is MVKs, mate. So a 3-2-1. If you've got one, I don't know if I briefed you or not. Hopefully I did.
Go on.
But you got a 3-2-1 for us, mate.
Two. So my one is Leo Thompson, just for the reasons we talked about. Effort. That's always good in my books, and he had a huge game. You can see in the run meters and tackles. Definitely a standout for the Knights.
Yes, yep. He's outstanding. Yep. So you're giving him how? Is he your 3 or your 1?
One.
All right.
Sorry,
Who's your
just
next?
a lighting. Two is Robert Toyer, the young Roosters centre. First game NRL. I think
Yeah, he was
almost his
impressive.
first play, he carved up. Just, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. He looks powerful. He looks quick.
big
Real
talent. And
talented
I think
youth. Yeah.
Kiwis definitely want to be trying to wrap him up pretty quick. He is eligible.
Straight in the
Played
team.
for New South Wales under 19s like the McLeans, but just,
Never know.
yeah, get him early.
Get him in early.
Yep.
Centres, do we have 100 in them?
Yeah,
Not since Joey left, really. We've only really got Timor Core
Chris,
and
yeah.
Chris. Oh, and you've got Pompey and stuff. Oh, yeah, we've got a few, but you can put him in a squad for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
All right,
And
who's your number 2, mate? 2
That was
points, I
two.
mean.
That
Oh,
was
that was
two.
2, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Toya, yep.
And 3 for me was old Jordan Ricky. Just had a huge game effort. You know,
Nice.
you locked up Angus Crichton, who was arguably the best second rower last year. Ricky made him
Yeah,
look second class, so
yeah,
he's
no,
definitely
I agree. You'd almost, Angus wasn't like, it was almost like Angus wasn't playing,
yeah,
which is hard to do.
exactly.
Um, all right, I've gone pretty similar. I've got Jordan Ricky for my 3 for the same reasons as you, Kane. And also, just I felt like the attacking wise, I know they were pumping them, but we managed to see a bit more of him,
Hmm.
which was cool. It was awesome to see because he's more than just a tackler. He's got a lot more strings to his bow, so it's good to see that standing out. The next few points I kind of struggled with just because there's a few people put their hands up, but yeah, I'll stay with that. Yeah, I did have Jesse Arthurs in there. I think his form has been outstanding,
Yep.
and he's just a bit of a favourite of mine.
He's kind of locked up that wing position now, which is
Yeah, well, even after he left the Warriors, I was gutted because I really felt like out of our outside backs, he was probably one of our best.
yep.
But yes, he's proven that at the Broncos, and then also in the Maldives game, he was outstanding. So I just think he just carried on that form, which was awesome to see.
He's
And
safe
then
to wear.
safe as
Yeah,
houses, mate. I think he's safe is really safe, but I think he has worked on like I don't know if he's faster or anything, but he seems to have a bit more pace. So maybe that's
yep,
something he's worked away at.
yep. Yeah,
I
mine.
see your point with Toya because I didn't really think of him as a Kiwi, but if he's eligible, then he is. He is. It's probably there or thereabouts. But I'm probably going to give my 1 point to Croslin. Obviously, more of an attack that he probably didn't play that big a role, but I just thought his efforts in a close game,
Yep,
similar to Cilio Thompson, worked his ass off that whole game.
yep.
And he just reminds me of Edge the Wrestler, so with his haircut. So I'm going.
Needs a
And
leader.
it's extra points in my book, or even Chris Jericho, like
Yeah,
Edge, Chris Jericho, someone like that. So yes, my 3-2-1. So off the top of my head, because I haven't set it up properly from last week, I know that Seb Chris had 5 points. Tarpany had 5 points, so Tarpany won't get any for a couple of weeks. And then in second place would be, oh no, sorry, Ricky would be in first place with 6 points.
mm,
Then it'd be Chris and Tarpany, and then we spread them out. So yeah, so they'll be the front runners. But
yep.
I'll get that up on stories tomorrow for sure.
This
Right,
must be
well
the
done.
first round in ages that Hughes hasn't got a point.
It has been, yeah. I guess just with the other 3,
Yeah,
like Grant. I mean, that also brings up Dally M conversations. Like the likelihood of Hughesy going back to backs probably if all those players are fit,
yeah,
or
absolutely.
even any of them getting it really, because
Yep,
they'll just spread the points around so much. Maybe,
yep,
or most
yep.
might just be like, this year's my year and I'm taking it all. You can see that happen for sure. All right, did you have a Kiwi moment of the round, bro?
It was probably actually the we covered it before the Marju try. Bit of a
Bit
laugh
of a weird one,
scramble.
but
Yeah, almost threw away the game, and then Bro caught the ball and busted a couple of tackles to win the game. So yeah,
I mean, nearly no one else calls that try except for the
yeah,
bulldozer.
nah, yeah,
Just low and hard. He just ran low and hard, and it's like impossible to stop him.
yep, yep. So, yeah, it was a big moment for the Knights fans.
I mean, Fairman Best is lucky.
Very.
That was crazy, bro. He just needed to draw and pass, eh?
There's so many
Oh
players
my
like that
god.
these days. They love the limelight.
They love the little Zach Lomax flick.
Yeah.
They haven't seen him do that in a while, probably for good reason. Um, Great moment. Greg Margie was outstanding that game. He is just an absolute, like I said, bulldozer.
Yeah,
What a winger to have in your team for sure.
for sure.
I'm going to stay on the winger train. I'm going to go with Will Warbrick, that intercept. That was pretty crazy. I know the opposition wasn't that good, but you just love seeing the bro in full flight like that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I just like seeing wingers like that, get intercept.
Get the
And
willy out. Yeah.
Get the willy out. The willy was out, man. It was out and about. He just took it to the fuddy, man. You love seeing him in space taking it to the house like that, and that's. And I always like when he gets to hit the way he celebrates. Also like that
Yeah,
too.
he's got some mana.
He's just like, you know what I mean. The way he celebrates isn't ever flashy. It's just like straight, yeah,
Yeah.
just straight mana, which is mean as. So yeah, mine will have to be the Warbrick intercept. All right, we'll move into the next round, eh? Round 2. All right, first game is a Thursday, so this part of it we usually keep relatively short.
Yep.
Give our who's going to win and why and your Kiwi to watch in that game. So the first game of the round on Thursday night is the Knights taking on the Dolphins. Who's going to win, bro, and who's your Kiwi to watch?
I think the Knights win in a close game just at home. Kiwi to watch for me would be Maju, probably.
Maju,
Yep.
for sure. I reckon the Knights in a close one, and I reckon Leo Thompson. I just want to see him like be that next dog.
Yeah.
Like
He can
he's
back it up.
almost there, but
Yep.
in the Kiwi frame, Tarpany's probably the tippy top.
Yep.
Tarpany's probably the tippy top. Fisher Harris obviously still in the mix. You got Lee Leota as well, but Thompson, I think this year had a few years under the belt now. He's moving on. I'm
Yep.
expecting him to have a big year, and I just want to see him go to another level. So
Yep.
Leo Thompson for me. Has his brother made the team list at all, like down the bottom? No.
Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting to see how
Probably
we.
take a while for him to
Yeah.
adjust.
He's only just come over, so it might take a few injuries and that. He's not on the team list at all, which isn't that surprising. The Wars, Friday night, 8 p.m. Yuck. Why do we get shitty times when we're even at home? We take on Manly Seagulls, a scary proposition, but we're back home. We've always been a better team at home. I'm
Yep.
expecting much better. Same team list. I know a lot of people are a little bit disappointed. What's your thoughts on the game, Kane? Who wins and why, and who's your Kiwi to watch?
I think, Manly should dominate, but there's always that, the risk. Warriors at home are a different team, but I think Manly will be too good. Kiwi to watch is definitely Tavaga for me, back against his family. Everyone will be there against him for once, which is probably new for him, but I think he's that type of player that will take it, all the chin. He's going to take this as a challenge, and
He'll love that sort of situation.
yeah, he's
And
scoring,
you're
I
right.
reckon.
He's scoring, man. They always do. They're coming home.
Yeah.
They're doing something. And if it's not score, like they damn nearly always score when they come back home against the Warriors. That's not a bad shout at all. Man, I don't want to. Tukiaho's out. Did he get injured?
Oh, didn't even notice.
That's a bit of a. Josh Alawai's back.
He hurt his knee, apparently.
Oh, okay. I think I'm going to stay. I'm going to have a bit of faith. I'm going to just put a line through that last start, even though Eagles absolutely humped someone in their last game. I'm hoping being back. I'm hoping that first round is like shock them into some sort of.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not what the first round was. Something else. So I'm going to go them. And like I said, Kiwi to watch has to be our boy Jazz Tavaga back in New Zealand, back at Mount Smart for the first time in a Manly Seagulls jersey, which still not quite used to seeing. It's funny how that happens, eh? It takes a while to get used to like some players changing teams and
especially
being in the different colours.
someone like that. Yeah. One club man.
That's right. Yeah. All right. Next game was Penrith taking on the Roosters. I mean, 10 p.m. on Friday night.
Be interesting if there's a option on Friday for total points both games, because I'll definitely be going the overs.
You're doing plenty, eh?
Yeah.
200 points total now. Who wins this game and why, bro? That one fly is just still there. Anyway.
Panthers win this game solely off defense. Defense is the Roosters' issue. They can't tackle anything.
Yeah.
Been doing the 3Ds at dodgeball rather than so definitely
Okay.
Panthers for me.
All right, and your Kiwi to watch for that game?
Kiwi to watch. McLean back on the wing. Big game.
Oh, yeah, he's back in, yep.
Yep.
Expecting a big game from the bro. It'll be good to see him take that to another level with obviously a few Kiwi wingers playing very well. Um, I'm going to have to say the Penrith Panthers. My Kiwi to watch is actually Moses Leota. As far as like picking order for Kiwi props at the moment, look, I love me a bit of Fish. He's probably one of my
Yep.
favourite players. But if you're looking at, I know it's early in the year, but if you're looking at how they finished and how they started the year as well, I've probably got, it's probably for me, it's Joseph Tarpany and Moses Leota above like the likes of
Yep.
Fish.
Yep.
And the way he played it his last game, well, he was outstanding. And
It's time to step up now with no Fish.
yeah, and quite often that's great. Some players can pull that or they can change them.
Yep.
It gives them that extra, responsibility and want to prove it. So, yeah, it's him, and then also Scott Sorensen. I thought was after a mixed sort of showing in the Pac Champs for New Zealand. He didn't play his best games, especially the one against Tonga, but I think that was a much improved game from him, and I think defensively he was outstanding. So even a bit of Sorensen action.
Ice Puppy off the bench too. Could be
Ice Puppy off the bench, he was good. He was good. I think Sorensen's pushed to the middle, and then he came onto an edge. So,
yeah. I think the Roosters' defense, that could be another smoky bit.
yeah, it could be a any time sort of,
Yeah.
I don't think he was paying that much last time, but you know me, I love an Ice Puppy try, so I'm probably going to do that. Next game, Saturday, Dragons take on the Rabbitohs. And probably in a game I'm not that excited to watch. Who wins and why, bro? And a Kiwi-ish person in there that you think you should watch?
I think it is an interesting game. You got the Cook and Elias against the Rabbits. I think
Yes.
Rabbits get it done. There's points in them, and there's a bit of that talent there. They just need to find it. Like Jai Gray is a very good player.
Yeah, he's outstanding.
They got a good spine, young spine, but it could be a good spine.
I mean,
Kiwi to
Campbell
watch for me
Graham
is
was back last week too, and he was
yeah.
great. Sorry, you carry on.
Kiwi to watch is the guy on the wing making his debut, old Bailey Bentley Hape. So he's born in Kawakawa.
Oh,
Yeah,
don't know how many league players have come from Kawa?
yeah, exactly. Playing in Tyrone Munro's position, who scores tries for fun. So I think
Yeah,
be a bit
because
of a
he got
punter in there. Injured again. He's had a hard
injured
luck.
again. Was it collarbone, wasn't it?
Yep. So, yeah.
Debuted New South Wales Cup 22-3 as a centre, but has since transitioned to a natural position of fullback and wing. All right, a Kiwi to watch. Let's go. Good spotting,
Thank you.
Kano. Great spotting. He's my Kiwi to watch now because I didn't really know about him. So I'm interested to see if he's any good or how he goes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this is still a hard one to pick, but I'm going to have to agree with you. I'm probably going to go Rabbitohs just. I think Campbell Graham can nullify Val.
Yep.
I think, like you said, I just think if I'm looking down the team, I can see a potential. Rabbitohs are the better team in my eyes, but he's not a Kiwi, but I love Blake Lowry, and he's on the interchange. He's the man. They just don't build him like that anymore. There's not many of those sort of players left, but he's got a ticker, man, and he's one of those guys who he plays like he's fit. He is fit, but he doesn't look it. One of those sort of guys. Sweet. We got a full card this weekend, don't we? Cowboys take on the Sharks. If you're just going off the last round's form, you're assuming the Sharks are going to absolutely devour the Cowboys. Who wins and why? Kane, and who's your Kiwi to watch?
Yeah, Sharks win. I think this will be another bit of a smashing. Cowboys looking all sorts, and they've even dropped old Nanai, so there's kind of a bit of
Oh shit! Did they?
doubt in there. Yeah, they've dropped him right to the reserves.
Oh wow!
So I think they're in a bit of trouble early. And Sharks,
which
they
isn't
look strong.
ideal.
Yeah,
The
Sharks
Sharks
push Penrith. Yeah,
They fully pushed them. They got a lot of strike. Just seeing the way the Cowboys defended last week, I'm worried for them for sure.
yeah, for sure. Kiwi to watch for me is Molitalo. He always gives us all. Love watching him play. He's one of those guys you'd hate if he was an Aussie.
Yeah. He's just if you'd hate playing him. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
he's noisy, but he's very skillful and he goes fucking 120 mile per
Yep,
hour.
yep, yep.
So yeah, great player to watch. Obviously, I think the Sharks do it quite easily, and I can see Nikora having a field day. Although I think it would be John Bateman maybe marking off on him, who defensively is pretty good. But
Yeah.
I mean, when your whole team's missing all the tackles, there's going to be some holes on the edge. So I feel like Nikora could be in for a big game.
I haven't heard of this Kai guy, old Kai O'Donnell.
Who's he, a centre?
Yeah, he's the Nanai replacement, but
Oh.
he's an Aussie, so who cares? Got a Māori first name, but
You say his name's Kai.
yeah.
He's going to get eaten up on the weekend. Shit. All right. Raiders. Oh, this is going to be an interesting match. This will be a real gauge for where the Raiders are at.
Yep.
They take on the Broncos. Who wins and why? Who's your Kiwi to watch, mate?
Broncos for me get done just as I've said, their top 4 team. I think this will be a good game to watch because Raiders have performed in the preseason in Vegas.
Their first game.
So bit of interest, yeah. Kiwi to watch for me is Tamale on the wing for the Raiders. He's a young player, only played a couple of games, but
he was impressive that first week.
Yeah, I think he's got a point to prove because Savage is out for a week, and it's whose spot is Savage taking. So I think he's got to step up.
That's right. He needs to put his hand up for sure.
Yep.
I think that Tarpany is going to be too much of a hole to miss against the top team like Broncos. If you look at that game against the Warriors, he was impressive. He went after Fish and Mitchell Barnett. He made it personal. Not that the other players replacing him won't, but they just don't have the skill set of the Bros. So,
yep.
And just doing what Broncos did last week, like if you just scroll down their team, is actually a bit outrageous. So yeah, I've got Broncos. Raiders have a way of making things scrappier, so I think it's going to be kind of close. But yeah, Savage and Tarpany out isn't ideal. So yeah, they need a full complement to get over the Broncos, in my opinion. So yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, Raiders fans. Sorry, man. Eels versus the Tigers. I think this is where the Tigers get their first one of the season.
Yeah, it'd be an interesting game.
Personally,
favourites.
Yeah. Or do Eels might all of a sudden turn their shit around? Who knows? But straight off my gut feel, you got Uppy back. And did you say Dreams? And Dreams back.
Yeah.
I feel if they were playing, they probably would have won last week.
Yep.
And just looking how Para just weren't in the game, so I can't back them for this round for sure.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm going Tigers. And my Kiwi to watch. There's been a lot of noise this week, and now Dill Brown has made his decision, so they're not playing the Storm this week. So I expect them to step up and have a dominant game. Well, he needs to. If Para going to do anything, he needs to stand up. So, did you say your Kiwi to watch, bro?
Nah, I think it's Jareen Buller. I've been telling a lot of people that this is his time. He's got Funny, Luai, and Galvin there who's coming through. He's got a good team behind him, and he's that kind of player. He's always been the star in a shit team.
That's right.
It's time for him to kind of take the back seat more and kind of play like a Walsh or something and just
chime in when he needs to.
Yeah,
just for that icing on the cake. Yeah, I agree.
He could break out this year, I reckon. He'd be a good contender for breakout player of the year.
Yeah, because was it last year or the year before? He was absolutely outstanding. Did he have a couple of injuries last year, eh?
Yeah, I think so. And he just had, Tigers have been in that form.
It's hard to stay up or be good the whole time when your team's not playing that well. Yeah. No, if he has he could have a great season, and he's really a talent, isn't he? That is for sure.
Be interesting if he does go down that Kiwi path. Kenny's that star right now. He's got their fullback spot locked up for us, but
unless Kenny actually shits the bed this year, I can't see him losing it. No. And he's still got a chance, even though he didn't have his best game last week.
Yeah.
He doesn't often put bad games back to back, so I'm assuming he might bounce back and hopefully have a better year.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like you say, whether Dream puts his hand up for New Zealand is probably going to be a bit of a hard one. But either way, he's eligible, so it'd be good for him to rep the Kiwis if the chance did pop up. You claim him until he says no.
Exactly.
We just spoke about Kenny, so the next game is the Bulldogs are taking on the Titans. this could throw up anything. I think this game.
Yeah, for sure.
Who's winning and why, Kane, and who's your Kiwi to watch?
Titans for me are an enigma. Eh? They're such a explosive team. They pretty much could be a Manly like backline if they
Yes.
perform. Like they all have to be on their game for to be like that. But
Yep.
I think that they could upset here. I don't know if they are favourites, but I am picking the Titans. I think high
Yeah, I just
scoring
think
game. Yeah,
they got more. Obviously, they got more points in them. I'm just hoping they like. If you look at like Tino's obviously back.
feeder off
Both
the
of
bench.
the feeder off the bench. Both of them has been outstanding. I don't think it'll be a hiding though. Obviously, Bulldogs have been playing well.
Bulldogs are at $1.40. I think that's too short for me.
Wow, that's short,
Yeah,
man.
$3 for
Titans.
Titans.
I know it's the Titans, but they've got so many points in them. I can't see them.
Yeah,
Well, they could get blown off the park, I guess. But
yeah.
I personally can't see them getting blown off the park.
They play one way or the other. It's either they're on or they're very off.
Yeah. All right. Kiwi to watch for me. Kenny, man, he's exciting. I always want to watch him. So
Yeah,
it's the Kinner for me. What about you?
yeah. It'd be Kenny too. He's an exciting player. Just that explosive speed around the field.
Oh, it's just as how quickly he can gain speed in like a 20-meter sprint.
Yeah,
Oh, from like nothing to full noise. And
yeah.
then it looks like the Storm will get 2 points as well this week.
Oh shit.
Greedy bastards. With the bye. All right. Preview to watch. Best bets. We're keeping that in this one, aren't we?
Yep.
All right.
Is through.
Jason has through. Do you have them on you, Mr. Jason? Oh, we should probably go through last week's. You boys both hit. I missed.
Yeah.
What was your bet, mate? Do you remember?
Pull it up. Yeah, so me and Jace both hit our best bets. Mine was Arthur and Maju at $4.40.
That's good money, man.
And then Jace had Arthur, Brick, and Hughes at
Oh,
$8.90. So a
little
bit of value
prick.
there. Yeah.
Adding the spicy little Hughes one on top.
Yeah. So yeah, good.
And what shit one did I put out?
Yeah, Dill Brown and Storm win. So you got half a leg.
Yeah, Dill didn't really look like scoring ever, did he? Unfortunate. What was my other one?
Brick first.
Last. Did you get the last one? No.
That? Oh, he would have been close.
Oh, close to second to last, maybe. Anyway, rubbish. No, not that rubbish. I mean, it's a bit of a risk doing those bets I like to do because if that team gets pumped, then, Anyway, what was Jason's bet, my man?
This week his best is Nikorini time, which is probably a regular of the show.
I was thinking of maybe doing that. That's right.
And value bet is Mazu, Asako, and Arthurs. So he's looking for all the wingers to back up again.
Okay. What about you,
How about
bro?
you?
You go first.
What's yours?
I was going to steal yours. No, I wasn't. I know it's off the bench, but as we spoke earlier, I just think Ice Puppy could get something on the edge there.
Yeah.
Coming on against some tying leagues, hopefully, and hitting a hole. So any time for me, Ice Puppy and Warbrick hat trick. No, he's not playing. What did I have for my other one? Hang on, I wrote it down. So just give me a second. Where did I put that? Must be on my phone. Anyway, do you have your two? I remember where I put it.
So my best punt is it's short, but I think it's near a sure thing. So I got McLean and Molitalo double. Oh, sorry, not double, but multi.
Yep.
I think it's paying around $2.40 or something, but
Yep.
for me, it looks like a great bet. Roosters leaked a lot of tries on that. That fringe.
Yep.
Dom Young for me is a shit defender, so I think Cleary looks to target that, and McLean does love to find the line. And then Mulitalo, he scored, I think it's in the last 5 games against the Cowboys, so I think there's obviously a weak spot there that Hines and them will look to target, so I think those two are great bets for me. And value wise, I'm actually going McLean first try scorer. I think it's around $7.
Oh, yeah.
Roosters' defense was shocking, and I think he's kind of that type of player that's going to score a lot of tries. So
Yeah, he might fuck around and get quite a
yeah,
few.
get on that.
I don't know if I'll be paying much. But, oh, no, that'd be shit. That's way too short. Okay. I was going to go Jermaine Isako first try. So that'll be my value with. I'm assuming he'll still pay more than Ice Puppy anytime.
Yeah, I think Ice was around $5.
Oh, yeah, sweet. Then Isako will be like 9 or something. 8,
Yeah,
maybe. So there's my bits. I'm not trying to not do anything too crazy this week. I can't get too far behind.
sweet.
All right, I think that's everything. So as per normal, thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you for Kane for jumping on through the magic of the interweb. As per usual, don't forget to like and subscribe. You'll find us on, obviously, if you're listening, you've already found us, but which is kind of weird to do this. Why do people do this if they're already listening? Anyway, YouTube. I just had a revelation. Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify, all those great places. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Kiwi NRL Podcast. And Kane, where do people find you? How do they find you, mate?
I'm just all for the gram, so follow me on the gram, that Kiwi Punter. Also on the Betcher if you
Yes,
want
on
to
the
just
Betcher,
search
that's
for
a good point.
Yeah. If
Get
you
on
want
the
to find
bro.
it.
That Kiwi Punter. You'd probably have the best strike rate on there, I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon.
They should have that sort of analytics for you,
Yeah, I know.
if you ask.
They should make me one of the default followers. That's all I want.
A
To work
default
for my
follow would be
follows.
legit.
Yeah.
Who's got a default one at the moment?
Quite a lot of people. Corey Jane and all the big names, I guess.
Oh yeah,
The ones that copy me.
like old players and that. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
just gonna have to start holding the gold, man.
Exactly.
You're gonna have
I
to
probably get
start.
the most copies a game. I'd be
Yeah,
confident I could say that. You look at an NRL game, and usually my bet's around 60 or 70, and most others are around 8 to 10. So.
and you look at there's probably about 10 professional punters have copied them.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, no, thank you, Kane, for jumping on. It's been a pleasure
All
as per
good.
usual. But as always, give them a taste of Kiwi up the wires. Fuck the Roosters. And
Hey.
nah, just joking, kind of. And yeah, make sure you have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Peace.